Tachie Djan ending komo or a financial analyst na yenjine thoughts one church mu sanoma ye kan say banks na church ama wo mo customers ni nyina no na se kire ankasa kwampo and say opanyi ye makwa ba no pay ebadwumade ni so
na just me
na impom de sana pay
na me adam na ho ya pa
yo releases updates various banks and as a financial institutions actual emma wo customers say when you keep your money with us even through these turbulent times now we will ensure say by the time we are out of this situation you will get the interest rate ma wo and I say uyi ni now there it will be at the prevailing interest rate ever so cheche mu kakra na se kire ne sen
okay medo after none of the share with you now so before I go to substantive issue, the person may a bit of clarification about the first financial landscape. It's made up of a lot of proponents and as players, a dozen. There were the universal banks, there were the savings and loans, the credit unions are there, the other non-bank financial institutions, rural banks. I've already mentioned credit unions, microcredits for investment companies, which is regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. That directive, it's coming from those under the Securities and Exchange Commission. The investment companies. Investment companies, from the public. Now, at their core, investment. Or more, modus operandi is about investment. They are the ones who normally subscribe to bonds. Any of those long-term investment avenues are available. Within the banking and the financial landscape, there's been such letters given to customers or clients, but it is not coming from the universal bank. Neither is it coming from any of the institutions that are regulated by Bank of Ghana. From investment companies, investment for their customers or their clients, which is regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. Different
what has necessitated sir and Krataya one more church or more customers?
Yes, you are very much aware Ghana economic situation, things are not looking good as we speak.
Christian, your voice seems to be going down. Could you kindly raise your voice a bit for me because
is it better now?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay, all right, yeah. So in financial landscape, it's not looking that good. Our economy is not doing well. Last week, the president of Ghana over there addressing on the economy. Though he stated there will not be any form of haircut. But then the information minister about the little clarification or an addendum on what the president had presented to the effect by no haircut they were referring to investment principals will not be affected by principals. That means and there will not be any haircut on it. Or my further clarification say if there will be any haircut, it's going to be on the interest payment. And I say the maturity period and then the haircut area at the day. And because of that, means there was some agitation in the system. Customers didn't know why I call a lot of the investment companies. In fact, investor banks, it did affect or more. Obi or fixed deposit plan for withdrawal. Obi or how I treasury bill or also for withdrawal because of those rumors now go on and it's been emphatic. There is a bit of difference between fixed deposit, treasury bill, and the bonds. What the government is actually referring to, if there will be any form of haircut, will be on the bonds. Bonds, investment that is 2 years and over. But then what the investor banks normally do with a fixed deposit, which is 91 days, normally 3 months, 1 to 2 days, kind of 6 months, and I say 65, which is 1 year. that is fixed deposit. No, treasury bill no so a cost 91, 182, and then 365 days, which is 1 year. But the can bond and only more than these stipulated periods now must it, into bonds no moon a year affected if there will be. But treasury bill no fixed deposit maybe it does not count. The universal bank, sometimes we play an intermediary role when it comes to the bonds, for government of Ghana to say their full bills, those ones, and then it goes beyond 1 year. But there are special arrangements. No, government bond, and on the year it will be affected. And that is where we are on the issue.
Openi, it is a metuase ya. That is a haircut, it's in effect, Anissa.
Negotiations have started. It's a long way. We need to determine which haircut we are going for. It could be the maturity period. The next number say, okay, I'm buying better say, interest rates no men for so. But then next year, maybe 1 year, not 2 years, and a day come home. That is extending the maturity period of the investment. And there can also be a conversation say, okay, interest rate I remember on 25%, Now remember 25%, remember 15%. And say 25,000 and now you'll be getting 15,000. It's also another conversation. So we are yet to be given the roadmap as to how this haircut is going to be applied. But let me reiterate, say it does not affect fixed deposits with the universal bank. It does not also affect treasury bills with the universal bank. A bond, and a bond normally the investment companies which is beyond, which is 2 years and beyond. We require up to about 20 years. These things are near buying them, which way he's actually going to haircut. There are so many forms of it, but we are yet to be advised on which haircut we are going to be giving.
Openi, I remember I also listened to, I heard the information minister making a point about those who are going to be affected and what is going to be affected, and the fact that the principal was not going to be touched. But if you look at that of a release from Fidelity, the one more clients need to pay, the option to no enfama na menjo thoughts on it. A withdrawal of your funds will require us to sell bonds at the current low bond prices, resulting in losses for the person withdrawing. These losses could impact the principal the unit holder invested. So this is an investment firm that is telling its customer that there is a possibility that his principal or her principal may be affected if the person decides to withdraw Nisika around this time.
Yeah, okay. So Fidelity, you refer to in this situation the investment wing of it, not the universal bank.
Yes.
I may make that clarification so that we can move on from there. Normally, every institution there will the rules that play when it comes to investment and its redemption. Why your investment for 1 year, 1 month or 2 months down the line, focus on about the withdrawal. Okay. Nipa no so investment companies no so omo dia omo yen say as omo discount no omo so dia ko baby no omo de kakra to so that time no so a obenya wu sika na dia ma no so enya ne de kakra enti wa make use of that funds enti wo ba set time no agreement or no why 1 year now 1 month or 2 months agreement no so ye no wo ba the discount is going to be a very big inconvenience to him. Or as an agency or an institution or the rules are you subscribe to as and when. So regulation we may sure say a train our day, but that it's part of conditions precedents are we signing on to. So we do seek care for 1 year the time now so maybe be redeeming. And these are the penalties at the bar. So I'm sure they are only activating such penalties or recreating such provisions that are made in the conditions precedent. And but it is not at the backdrop of government advice. And I say, government, there's not been any talks of it. It's just been, there's not been any action. It's just been talks as to how we go about it. In the government, but internally as an institution, conditions precedent, so they are only activating it.
And come on, the Amakai Fitch, one more downgrade of some 3 banks. That's about, I think, a month ago. I won't send some away Buja. Now, what I want to find out is these bonds that we are talking about, is it the exposure of these financial institutions, these investment institutions, exposure with the government of Ghana and its other securities in Yakan?
It could be both. It could be both because the first source of government funding Ghana over the years in the budget deficits. In budget deficit, government always bridges the gap with borrowing. It be external and it be internal. Bonds on the international market, capital markets, were doing very well until let's say somewhere late last year, and economic conditions and some turbulent moments, the people started selling off the bonds of government of Ghana, and only leading to face the downgrade. Any other rating agencies or downgrade of Ghana as they say you need to into Omono are dealing with it at discounted rates because Oshena ABR chance and in fact and Okeso Kakano the new be fluid the man and Sabaton Kitano the Papa share another economy and I say another venture no a well of and it depends on the brokerage company or they know a deal so they are going that way and it's rational and I say every rational economic agency will take such a decision. Into that side, and now your government bonds, so which are also raised locally, mostly subscribed by some of these investment companies. Government might not be able to pay the total amount because IMF bailouts now any debt sustainability analysis now or capitalize all of contingent liabilities. Any other government agencies, or Musika, and even contingent liabilities, converted to cash at about the government of Ghana. Now, outlook, it doesn't look very good. And it was essential, say, a binding maturity payments are obviously and only acceptable levels in terms of debt sustainability. Now you'll be able to be associated with the IMF program. It be external and it be here internal. Into two depending on how you want your investment. To say a fidelity investment or more. Let me get Obi there to say, okay, I still need the money. If you would discount money, maybe at a coupon rate of this much. So it all depends on the person. But I am saying emphatically that government roadmap for cash haircuts and Casadia is not yet out.
Yeah, in Komani Barrier, I am interested in the treasury bills and other securities that because constantly government has been assuring Ghana for say we're not going to have a haircut when it comes to these products here. But is it really the case that this is possible, seeing how government is really relying on an IMF deal to get some 3 billion to ensure that one restructure Nika or deal man for no Obaka just about 2 weeks ago, government treasury bills it was undersubscribed, regardless of the high coupon rates now here can Opani, is it really the case that people must be rest assured that when we treasury bills near other securities or matter aside the bonds, we may not get to the point of haircuts?
Okay, so you share in finance and your time investment short term and medium term. I am yet to see a sovereign state idea or your haircut. I think the latest that came was in 2010. That was Jamaica. I'm yet to see in history any sovereign nation or your haircut affected, for example, 91-day treasury. No, I've never seen it before. Never say never anyway, but I've never seen it before in finance. Haircut has happened on a short-term or medium-term fund. I don't know how. By the time I will draw modalities maybe maturity period no crash. So haircuts in finance normally happens with long-term funds, and long-term funds are what affect through the bonds. In any case, the bonds that we'll be talking about, I've never witnessed a haircut on short-term and medium-term investments as we have in Ghana with a fixed deposit and treasury bill. I don't. It's about 90% sure to say that one will not be happening.
Thank you, Sanape. Watching Bernard Medellin come Christian.
That's very.
Yo, and see any Christian, any Edi and Como and the payment.